Okay, have you ever really stopped and thought about just how much meaning we can cram into one simple, everyday word? Well, today we're going to do exactly that. We're going to explore the word needle, and I promise you by the end of this, you are never going to hear it the same way again. But before we dive into the needle itself, let me throw a kind of wild idea at you. What if you could say pretty much anything you wanted in English, but you could only use 850 words? Sounds impossible, right? But it's actually a real system, and it was designed for super clear communication all around the world. Yeah, it's called Basic English. And the whole idea behind it is pretty simple, actually. Use a small set of really powerful, versatile words to get across even complex ideas. Now, to get on this incredibly exclusive list, a word has to be, absolutely essential. And guess what? Our word of the day, needle, it made the cut. So let's figure out why. So by unpacking this one single word, we can really start to see the genius behind this whole system. We're going to start with the meaning of needle that, we all think we know. All right, let's start with the obvious stuff. When I say the word needle, what pops into your head? It's probably a physical object, right? And chances are it's one of two very common and very sharp tools. I mean, just look at these two. They're so similar, but their worlds couldn't be more different. You've got the sewing needle over here for mending and creating things, and then you've got the medical needle for healing and, literally saving lives. It's the same basic shape, but wow, two totally different jobs. So here we have the sewing needle, right in its natural habitat. The sentence itself is super simple, but the action, that's universal. Using a needle and thread to fix something that's broken. It's just a perfect example of that clear, straight-to-the-point communication we were talking about. And now the medical needle, doing something incredibly important and precise. Again, the language is simple, but the meaning behind it is so powerful. So, okay, we've got two different concrete meanings for just one word. But is that the whole story? So, a needle is just a tool. Simple enough, right? But if that's really all it was, do you think it would have earned a spot on that super exclusive list of 850 essential words? Nah, I don't think so. There's another layer here, a much more subtle one that we need to peel back. So, what happens when needle stops being a thing you can hold in your hand and turns into something you actually do to another person? Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. This is where the true power of the word needle comes out. We're shifting gears now, moving from a physical thing to a much more abstract and, honestly, a way more interesting idea. Needle as an action. You see, as a verb, to needle someone means to tease them, to kind of poke at them, to provoke them. All of a sudden, this simple little word has jumped right out of the sewing kit and the doctor's office and landed smack dab in the middle of the messy, complex world of human emotions. And this example, it's just perfect. I mean, poor Billy's sister. You can almost feel that sharp, nagging annoyance of his teasing in that one single word, needled. It's so much more vivid than just saying he teased her, isn't it? And that's the brilliant connection right there. The feeling of being verbally needled is a perfect metaphor for the actual physical feeling of being poked by something sharp. It's not like a big injury, right? But it's that constant, irritating little poke. That's what gets under your skin. That is just some incredibly clever linguistic design. So what does all this tell us? What does this amazing little word teach us about the real power of having a simple vocabulary? Just think about it for a second. In one single word, we have a tool for making clothes, an instrument for saving lives, and a way to describe a very specific and, let's be honest, very annoying social situation. That is a ton of work for one little 6-letter word to be doing. All right, now look at this number on your screen, 61. What on earth could 61 possibly have to do with the word needle? Well, that's how many languages, we're talking everything from Arabic to Vietnamese, that have a word for this exact concept. And what that tells us is that the idea of a needle, this small, sharp tool, it's not just an English thing. It's a nearly universal human concept. It's totally fundamental to how we experience the world. And this is the genius behind Basic English. It's not about limiting what you can say. Not at all. It's about picking words that are so fundamental and so rich with these built-in metaphors that they can stretch and expand to cover a huge range of ideas. A word like needle isn't just one simple definition. It's like a key that can unlock a whole bunch of different doors of meaning. So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. Start thinking about the simple, basic words you use every single day. Words like run or head or even shark. How many different meanings do you think are hiding just under the surface? I bet you'll be surprised. Thanks for joining me.